Hello, Divine Feminines. How are you? I hope that you are very well and having a beautiful day. I send you lots of love. Interesting. So they had me rearrange my desk and clear all my decks. And they sort of gave me an emotional reset. And one of the things that they were talking about to me as I was getting ready was that they had me go back in my mind to the beginning of my twin flame journey and kind of experience the joy and the beauty and the pureness of the beginning again. And they were telling me that this is what's to come here. And just a lot about how, some things I've talked about recently, that, time doesn't matter in the, so interesting because I'm wearing like a white top and a black pants, and I was like, this is so twin flamey in the way that it feels right now. It feels very white and black, very cut and dry in a way, and very also like polarized, but not polarized. But they're just saying, you can't, you will, you have, and you will again, and you always will feel like it's kind of like the first time meeting your twin. Yes, you can get to the place where all of that really dies down. And that's my understanding of really how it needs to be when you're together. But your two energies meeting each other is always a cause for great celebration to your soul, which is a very beautiful energy. So, wow, those are beautiful cards. Not what I was expecting. Dove Spirit, be peace is for you. Moth Spirit, surrender now. I think you've already gone through surrender, and I think your masculine is now going through surrender. And then we have the Bat Spirit, which is exactly what I'm feeling. It's a rebirth, right? The birth part is very important for you to understand that really Spirit wants us to go into this reunion like with pure eyes, knowing your worth, but through the eyes of love. And it's so interesting that, in the zodiac, that energy is Scorpio, which we find it very mysterious. Look at this, the butterfly and the owl. Rebirth, but with wisdom. We find the whole process of transformation and death and the occult mysterious, and there's fear around it because we really don't understand it. Fear is where we don't understand. So it's interesting, they were saying resurrection as I was talking about rebirth, and that's kind of a charged word, right? It has to do with religion in a lot of ways. And they just want me to talk about when we resurrect something, we choose to bring it into form again. it isn't the same as it was the first time. And if you go in with the same fears, again, you'll create a lot of the same things here. This inequality in love, this if you, so like the whole week they already talk so much about boundaries, and it's just a tricky conversation. They're saying we'll get into it more, but it's a tricky conversation when we want to be open-hearted, but we don't want to be taken advantage of. And that's what a boundary is, right? I'll let you go so far, but no farther. I'll love you up to a point, but no further. And we're always renegotiating our boundaries with people in terms of the situation and what they've given and how the relationship has actually developed. You're going to find out a lot of things you didn't know, and it will put your mind at peace. Oh, God, of course. I have the butterfly again, 2 of Cups, Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, High Priestess. Well, Page of Cups, 3 pages. And the High Priestess and the Magician. So everybody's favorite royal magical couple is here. And wow, are they missing each other. And there is a tremendous amount of things that has been left unsaid by this couple. So the first thing I want to acknowledge is that your masculine wants to explain why he ran away from this relationship and what was so very terrifying about it to him. The only 2 cards in the upright are the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. So he was terrified. And I think he has surrendered and understood the fact now that most of this was in his own mind. And I think I talked about that in like the last 2 readings I did, that we are figuring out where we are projecting our fears onto the other person. And that's a very, very high level skill. That's a very self-aware skill, because it requires a very big vulnerability from you, right? For you to be like, what is this? Why did it happen? Explain to me what you were feeling, why you did what you did. And to look at it and say, oh, in my mind, I was putting all of these reasons onto you. And I thought it meant a lot about me. And so this is such interesting cards. There are things I think he can't yet be honest about with you relating to his early childhood or family unit. So all of these pages to me are talking about, there were many, many times your masculine started writing you a message, had conversations with you in their head, maybe even wrote you a letter and didn't send it, whatever it was, you know, didn't do the action, held back out of fear really that you had rejected him. And I think many of you, this isn't the main reading of this card, but I think many of you found out or knew or somehow suspected that he chose someone else, or outright no, you know, that he really, I will tell you that this relationship, it was just, the word that's coming up is convenient, but let's get a card on it. Because yes, he was attracted to this situation or person, and there was something in it that gave him a false sense of power or control is a better word they're saying, where he didn't like the feeling with you of being so out of control. Look at that. I mean, part of their relationship or this situation is she may have been somehow much more naive than you. She may have fed his ego a lot, but there was also, it looks to me like a past life bond here where he had to go through this so now we have a double death card here. He had to go through this difficulty and accept the transformation on the other side of it. And so we also have the spiritual test and then the shaman card. And it was partly that he did not experience the victory that he anticipated walking away from you and choosing this situation. And so they're saying move on. Okay. So they really don't want me to dwell on that. They really have offered you the reading that just got posted, and there was another one like a week ago, I want to say. They're saying that's really all you need to know, but what they're showing me is like a slate in the form of a heart, and then just all of this scribbling on it. It's like keeping score, keeping notes, and you've been meticulously writing all of your pain that this has caused you. Even if you think that this is not what you're doing, they're saying your subconscious mind is adding this. I just stopped shuffling and the butterflies on the other deck. Is keeping tally because part of you is still scared. And that part of you needs to be wiped clean. Like, you need to come in your own mind to balance with, wow. To balance with what's happened. That's so interesting, that cassette and the date card and the watching card. Cards are being really, really fascinating today. Okay. Your masculine is also looking back. Looking back at this particular moment in time where he had you, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Karmic. And he was conflicted with what to do. And what was on offer at that moment to him was an internal question that he had to seek an answer to, which was, I don't like what they're giving me. Does true love actually exist? And what is true love? And is true love about really feeling attracted to someone? Or is true love about someone that can give and receive in balance with you? Or is... Okay, then they're going on to something more, which is that he has experienced a lot of deceit and pain and people abandoning him in his life and closing up his heart to situations, and yet always having this deep spiritual inner wisdom and guidance, not normally like a feminine has. It isn't so like at the forefront of things. It's more hidden is what is coming through. It's like a gut feeling. And but the problem with that is that sometimes his gut has been incorrect. And what he thought he would manifest didn't. And he's looking for the reason why. And what he's coming up with here is this lack of trust and this, first of all, a lack of trust of spirit, his own like spiritual, they're calling, so I use this term called like a pit. They're using a well, but his own spiritual depths. It's like a lack of trust in his spiritual depths. And I would always say when you fall into the pit, which is like you're feeling either depressed or anxious, you're trapped in your mind. And it's a lot of darkness when you're in the pit, right? You can't like see yourself as the actual creator of your reality, because you're really creating like from fear, from a mental place, and not from your soul and your heart. Okay, so let's look at what is going on here. I feel like he had a few experiences with like pure consciousness coming. That's so interesting. Look at, we got go with the flow again and surrender now. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So I think he was meant to feel like a burden. I hope I got all those strings wrapped up. But he was meant to feel like a burden as a child. And which is very common, right? When our parents prioritize almost everything over their children, even though they say they love their children the most, we see them prioritize money, work, social, other family, even often like drinking. And we get the sense inside, it's like, oh, well, we want attention, we want love, right? We're going and seeking love. We're asking our parents for help with something, and they're like, no, can't you see I'm with my friends? And they're like drinking and playing cards or sitting out on the patio or going out to the bar, whatever they're doing. This is like for an adult often prioritized over their children. And of course, the adult has its own complete life with coping mechanisms and unmet needs and all of the things. So as always, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm trying to see through the lens of the masculine what they're giving me to see. And yes, this card indicates that they have a burden they're carrying, but it also is coming through as often they felt like the burden in love. And we have 6-6. It's so interesting because I saw that yesterday. 7-9. So we do also have a 5, 6, 7, 9. And then 2 8s here in the reading. There's a lot of ascension going on right now. You know, they're showing me a specific card. Well, it's kind of like this light, and there was another card, this one, they were highlighting as I was reading the initial reading. But there is a specific card that they want me to get out, which I've used before. I think I maybe used it in my last reading. Where this is all dawning on your masculine. In like, I don't know how it happens for you, but for me, I will have a moment of clarity. And this is what it feels like to me. Is it that one, Spirit? Or is there another one that I'm thinking of? I think it's that one. There's a couple cards in here with like doors opening. But it's like the doors are opening. And it's so interesting because this card under here is the root chakra, which is this red. It's like what's been holding them back is this idea about in the root chakra that's so strong. That's like love is very burdensome and very almost troublesome. Like I think the examples that they've seen of love, quote unquote, in their life have been difficult and have felt difficult, very, very difficult, and left them. And so interesting, right? Because look at, there's like a door opening right there, or a portal of some kind, and it's dark. And so this moment of clarity is coming so high right now. It's coming for them. And I want to say part of it has come through you. And again, they're bringing me back to the black and white, where the karmic felt one way, dark, and you felt a different way, which was light. And it's so interesting again, you know, light, dark, moths come out at night, and so do bats. And there's this, oh wow, the bottom of this deck here, well, now I have to get this deck out. Bottom of this deck is this dark to light, seed to flower, nothingness, the void, traveling, the lovers. 6 again, crazy card. That courage is a strength, I believe, which is the 8. All right, so let's see what we have to say. So he's looking back to his past. All of his cards are past cards, and he's really asking this question. Like, what am I doing here? Why did I come here? What is this lesson? And I know when tarot readers say this sort of stuff to me, I'm like, no, my masculine would never say this. Would never ask this, would never even like reflect on it. They're saying don't shovel more. Okay. But he is. And there's a reason why. He wants to share what's in his heart. Okay, keep going. I'm scared you'll leave or hurt me. So that is a main issue that he is dealing with right now in this void. So he uses strategy to know that he'll be successful. With you, you have his strategies, like, you're so far beyond his strategies, right? You can see through. He's the one and you're the two. He can see through. You can see through his smoke and mirrors, magic tricks, strategy, whatever. I think you like it because, you know, the attention of the masculine feels different than everything else, but it's painful for him when you see that scared little child inside. Platinum. Tap into imagination. Burn the candle at both ends. Law of gestation. I mean, I feel like he's really putting in, look at that, that's crazy. He's really putting his effort into this, and I know I'm the same way. I'm like, there's no effort. He's not doing anything. He's doing what he always does. But the cards tell me he's come to a period of time in his life where he can't not change. He has to change. He's being forced to change. And so these two cards, I write texts and I delete them, and you see through my mask. Yes, he knows that. He writes these long texts, or maybe for him long, but short for you. I don't know. And the entire time he's writing them, like he would be writing them to someone else who wouldn't see through every single thing, like artificial construct lie he's telling. And he knows you do. He just knows it. He knows it. Like, the bottom of the deck is the void. And so it feels like a fake, right? Mastermind. He is a mastermind. I listen to music and think how it was. Sometimes I think you're talking to me. Perpetual transmutation. I miss your smell. He does wish he was braver because he sees you in a lot of ways. You're brave. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't think you want him. Mercury and the moon. Ooh, we're so different. Mercury and the moon. That's a fascinating energy. I think Mercury is in Aquarius right now. Interesting. I wonder if more will come up around that. So, what can you do now? Whenever we want our masculine to change, we must change. It's the only way that it works. So if you want him to speak his truth, you better be speaking your truth. And I don't mean to him, I mean in your life. Speak your truth. Be brave. Write the texts you need to text, and send them. And watch your thoughts, right? This is an important card in the way that it relates to your self-worth. what you are thinking about yourself is constantly forming the reality here. And the reality you want to live in is what? Loving, honest, all the things you want. Make a list of them and make sure your thoughts really align to them, which is, it's challenging. Like, let's get real. It's not an easy thing to do. If you are in unconditional love with yourself, it gets easier. Because when you unconditionally love yourself, you're able to say, I'm not perfect. I have shadows. I do things wrong. I make mistakes. I'm still worthy of love. This is the spiritual transformation that's being asked of you right now. Oh, I'm getting really hot. Okay. Whew, okay. My body does the weirdest stuff when I'm channeling. So let us, I really love the way that they're doing the cards today. It's really beautiful. The flow is very nice. Thank you, Spirit. So we're gonna get a couple of these cards and then some of the Universal Mysteries and Message cards, which are kind of funny, silly cards, maybe in some of these cards too. And I'll just do a kind of a rant on what are they actually, what's actually going through their mind as they're trying to process this. You know, their instinct is to lie. I think if you went to them right now and you were like, what is going on? What are you thinking? Look at Double High Priestess. They would lie about it. Unconditional love. I just said that. Irene, peace. So we have double peace today. There's no need to worry. Everything is working out beautifully. And you know, I really see this as give your inner child, you know, blessings upon blessings. Give your inner child. I went into it a very long way the other day about making this beautiful space for your inner child. And so if you haven't, I don't know what reading it was in, but it was a beautiful message to come through. So you are in High Priestess, you have divine knowledge, and you can help others through your spiritual teaching. And so that is another way, right? The High Priestess, the Divine Feminine, is on a journey of bringing her very ethereal spiritual energy and grounding it into the earth and making it very practical. And the masculine is on the opposite journey, taking his extremely grounded, practical 3D energy and making it spiritual. So the faster you do your 3D stuff spiritually, the faster he does his 5D stuff practically, right? Does that make sense? It's just this big circle. And he's in Guardian. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. And Mary Magdalene is between you. Unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And that, you know, that is saintly energy. I've made that joke for 3 years now, is that unconditional love is right above sainthood on the emotional scale. And, you know, it is probably the biggest challenge a human being could take on, is to surrender to love, to surrender to spirit, to surrender knowing that every single thing that happens to you is, and everyone else, is for their highest good. Gold digger. There's a lot of people, water sign, wanting to take your light right now. I can feel that. Pets, caution. confession, gambling, love spell, spy. Got a lot of these the other day. Guardian, second guardian, pregnancy, liar, Mercury. I don't really want to say that the masculine may use his children or a possible faked pregnancy as an excuse. Even like a pet. This is a very interesting energy. It's a very what do I want to say here? Let's find some more cards because I don't love the energy coming through. So, someone is very jealous of you. Water signs could play a part here. You, masculine, or this person, or the next water sign we have coming up is the Pisces, could be in that time. It's almost like this person is love bombing you. It could be the karmic because the masculine cut them off. Or it could be, ooh, someone around. Jeez Louise, didn't mean to do that. It could be someone around a masculine. I feel like they are making a decision, but it's not easy. He is making a decision. Yeah, so it's a lot. This is all about. So first of all, there should be some caution here around a drama. I feel like you already know that this may come. That someone is watching you and looking for signs that he's with you, he's watching you. I think he's trying to deal with his codependency here. This is very much what this, you remember I was talking about this circle, his circle, he knows his circle is messed up. Like his life is a mess right now. He can't let go of you and he doesn't know why. And he's asking himself, like, is this codependency or someone is in his ear? Because I do see that there are people around him saying negative things. He's overcoming his fear of this rejection, which I think this is all this whole process is. But yet too proud to kind of say, I treated you wrong. I'm sorry. What he kind of wants to do, I think, okay, his old strategy of doing things is like, I'll make you think this is over, so you cling to me, so that feels better for me. And I don't think that goes with you. I think if he did that to you before, it didn't work, and he really didn't like that you didn't fall for the bait. He may kind of do that again. Yeah, they're just saying don't fall for these tricks. Don't fall for these tricks. You have issues around trusting him for sure that need to get resolved. Okay, I heard something about you. I think someone's saying something about you. I've liked you for a really long time. I'm afraid to get close to people. He's afraid, but up here it came out, I'm emotionally unavailable in reverse here. So he's trying very hard to get into his emotions and be okay with them. There's something here, one more, that I don't think you should be the one, even if you have before, even sort of recently, have been the one to go to him to try to like close this gap. I think now is the time to be patient, because he's coming to a very profound conclusion, I think. I don't want to keep hurting you. Not good at communicating my feelings. I've cried over you, trying to trust in divine timing. Be patient a little longer. I can picture a life with you. I let my doubts and fears get the best of me. And you hear my voice. The silence is killing me. I'm so scared of change. I think if you asked him, he would say he wants you to reach out. But then if you did, I think it would create a lot of fear and problems where you aren't letting this transformation completely happen, because he has to go all the way under into the darkness. And maybe even to the point where he thinks this is over, to see if it's worth it for him to make these huge changes and to face these things in himself. This is definitely about facing his emotional unavailability or his inability to communicate his feelings, because I see he really, really wants to. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had 3 pages in a reading. But the thought of actually doing it is terrifying him. It gets very, very conflicting for him. And so let's get advice for you. I'm gonna get, not those, not those, not those. Why do I not see them? Oh well, guess we're not gonna use them. How about some unicorn cards? I kind of want, the way that they were talking to me in the beginning about going back to the beginning, was about how I used to read. I had 42 decks at that time, and I probably have double that now. And I used to read every single one, every single morning. I know that sounds insane, but I did that for a very long time. And right after I started doing that, I started reading for friends and family a lot in person. And it was the way for me to get my channeling on board. And understand through people's feedback how my channeling actually worked. Okay, let go of stress. They have been really emphasizing relaxation and enjoying life. Talk about your feelings and decide. And then practice. So don't take on other people's stress. Breathe it out now. Tell a friend how you feel. That's cute. It's a little cat and a unicorn. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And then this beautiful unicorn fountain is in the back. And we have practice. The best way to get good at a skill is to practice, practice, practice until you get it right, which is what I was just talking about, right? So if there's something you want to do, and interestingly enough, I was kind of reading a book about this last night, that it was about, you know, work and money, but it was about how a lot of people who are very creative, they want to change. They either want to change what they're doing, or they want to make more money, or something. And their solution is kind of to just do a whole new thing, do another whole thing. Like we have with 1 or 2 or 3 things working, and then we're just going to do a whole nother thing. And they're saying like this, sometimes it's good to make what you're doing better. Okay, that's all that needs to come through with that. Radha, Divine Director. Oh, Lady Venus. I felt that. I felt that energy. And we have Odin, Mary Magdalene, and Jawal Cool on the bottom. So Soul Flame, rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience harmony and healing. Relationship, harmony, and healing. The Divine Director, intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. You are on the path of light. Master Jesus, forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. I have had that message coming through a lot. Said our third eye is opening more. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Okay, dragons. Silver dragon, orange dragon, royal blue and gold dragon, alpha dragon. Silver dragon illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look into your soul and see higher possibilities. Orange dragon, so the sacral, brings soul families and communities together. Spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. Royal blue and gold dragon strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power and pride. Alpha dragon, harness the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old, visualize the dream, help manifest a new world. Should have been shuffling. And so those are very, very powerful energies right here. A lot of unconditional love. Herkimer diamond, dreams. Kunzite, self-love. Black obsidian, the shadow. Crocite, sexuality. Black tourmaline, protection. And heart healing with dioptase. So you may feel very drawn to working with these energies and calling them into your space, holding them, asking them to mentor, teach you, or attune your energy. And we have messages from your twin flame, higher self. Don't make decisions based on guilt. A lot about deciding things, what you really think you should do. For it is only being true to yourself you can be true to others. Friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. And then you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, blessing will soon be revealed. And then secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. And here, this is what I talked about early in the reading. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess, equally so. The qualities you don't like are your own reflection. And the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. The path now is clear. Path is now available for you to follow it with faith. And remember, as I was talking about, you know, the slate and wiping it clean, it's very much bringing that back into my vision here. So thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And readings are open if you want one. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.